Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all is well. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I really do appreciate it. If you're absolutely addicted to the game of basketball like I am, make sure you click that red subscribe button down below and also put that post notification bell on so you do not miss a video or maybe even a potential live stream in the future, because I haven't done a live stream yet, but a live stream would seem like a lot of fun to talk basketball with you guys or even react to potential games. And smash the like button if you end up enjoying this video. And today I'm going to be talking about the Sacramento Kings, a team that has not made the playoffs since the 2005 to 2006 season, and I was born in 2004, so that really speaks volume. This team has definitely been struggling. If it's failures of just draft picks going on to draft NBA draft bust over potential Hall of Famers. For example, going on to select Tyreek Evans before a Stephen Curry, going on to select Marvin Bagley before Luka Doncic. There's a history of the Sacramento Kings, but then you could also say maybe potentially they would have been good players if, for example, Marvin Bagley stayed healthy in a Kings uniform. They had the right head coach, the right system to play him throughout their strengths. So it's not fully just the player's fault. It's also the organization has to do a better job putting these players in the position to be successful. And even if the Kings don't go on to make the playoffs this season, the Kings fans want to come out of this season. They're like, we've improved as a basketball team. It looked like I was watching competent basketball this year. It wasn't Luke Walton just being afraid to make adjustments, just a crazy level of inconsistency. Like, because I know that's what Kings fans want. They want playoff basketball. But you just want to see improvement at this point right now if you're a Sacramento Kings fan, or you want to end up in the play and you want to be close to the playoffs. And I do think the Kings might be moving in the right direction. Brand new head coach they hired of Mike Brown. He was an assistant with the Golden State Warriors. He has some experience as a head coach if it was with the Cleveland Cavaliers in like the early LeBron James days. Like, he was head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, but he's coached some weird teams, like not the most talented rosters in the world when it comes to the head coaching position. He's definitely dealt with a lot of adversity, and I'm really interested to see the adjustments he's going to make as a head coach and how much has he really dealt or learned just dealing with certain personalities and certain skill sets. Because I really remember that Lakers team of just like Steve Nash, older Steve Nash, like way out of his prime, like not his Phoenix Suns days. This was like his last year playing basketball, or one of his last years playing basketball. Kobe Bryant went on to have a huge injury this season. It was just like a so-called super team, but they were crazy old and out of their prime. Like Dwight Howard was on that squad as well. So he's been dealt a weird hand. I'm not saying he's been perfect. He's definitely going to be bringing a defensive minded, he's a defensive minded coach. He has his proper system on the defense side of the basketball. He may bring an improvement offensively. Can't be worse than Luke Walton, but he's definitely someone that's going to try to bring this defensive mentality, which they need because they've been the bottom of the barrel on the defense side of the basketball. And when you take a look at their starting five, I actually really do like their projected starting five of putting a Darren Fox out there on the basketball floor, putting a Kevin Huerter out there, Harrison Barnes. You went on to draft Keegan Murray out of Iowa State, who I think's pro ready right out the gate, even though I loved the way he talked in his media day that I don't care where I was picked. Like, I still need to earn my spot, and I'm gonna make sure I work for that. And then Domantas Sabonis, obviously, brand new acquisition of last season, the Tyrese Halliburton trade. They are going to be starting projectedly at that five position. So they obviously have talent there. But if I'm looking full detail into it, I like Harrison Barnes. I don't love Harrison Barnes. He is one of the prettiest forms in the NBA. Very good mechanic, shooting a three ball, good pick and pop guy. He does a good job rotating or relocating outside on the perimeter. He's sneaky athletic. He's not as athletic as he was earlier in his Golden State Warriors days. He is 30 years of age. He's losing a step, and he kind of fell off of a cliff defensively. He's never been some like fantastic Kawhi Leonard on-ball defender, but just defensively, you could see it's not really there anymore. He was actually ranked like the fifth worst defensive rating, I believe, defensively. I have it written down right here. Yeah, fifth worst defensive rating Harrison Barnes had. You could tell he lacked just defending those sneaky, athletic, or quicker types of offensive players. But he does have solid, like, he's pretty solid at creating his own shot. He isn't someone that's extremely like twitchy or anything like that, but he knows how to get to his spots, and he's a professional. And he was very consistent at the beginning of the season, kind of tailed off or he kind of struggled in the middle of the season, then picked it back up when it came to the end of the season. But Harrison Barnes is a true professional. I've always respected him. I feel like he's never got the respect he deserved. He could still score the basketball. He's still going to make big time plays. He's not afraid of the big moment. And it's always great to have an experienced vet on your team, especially someone that's been a part of a very successful organization of the Golden State Warriors. But is he a starter there moving forward? No, due to his age, lack of defensive upside. He's declining on that side of the ball. Scoring wise, I think he's fine, but maybe you need someone with more offensive potential pop moving forward as well. But for right now, you could say he is fine there. I do like Domantas Sabonis. I feel he's one of the best feel for the games in the league when it comes to that big man spot. He's someone that's, you could tell his touch has gotten better every single year. Like he has that like little baby hook. He has that nice little floater. He's a beast in the post. He does such a great job like back to the basket moves and getting to the charity stripe, and he's just an offensive beast. Like he's a beast on the offensive boards, giving you second chance opportunities. He does a really good job finding his teammates as well when the defense collapses on him. And Harrison Barnes actually got better when it came to the end of the season when they acquired a Domantas Sabonis, because most of the offensive load wasn't just on a Barnes and Fox. Adding another element of Domantas Sabonis, it took some pressure off of Barnes, which Sabonis was able to set him up. Just adding another playmaker to the mix, another veteran. This is someone I feel that's always played like an all-star, or he's consistently played at a very high level every single year. Maybe he doesn't have a crazy upside due to lack of athleticism, but he just has such a high basketball IQ, and I love what he brings to the table. He brings a winning mindset, and he was obviously a part of the Indiana Pacers, and they were kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere, and now he's a part of like a young group that I'm excited to see what he's going to do with moving forward. It's just weird that Tyrese Halliburton's not on this team anymore, because I thought he was going to be here for the next few years, but they obviously have their point guard of Darren Fox. And Darren Fox, I feel, is one of the most polarizing players in the league. He's obviously very fun to watch when he's just when he's at an all-time high. He's amazing to watch when he's at his best, because he's lightning fast, very athletic, just get out in transition. He's a blur. He had comparisons to John Wall coming out of Kentucky. So his ability in the half court, come off a screen, get to the basket, jam it on someone, or just lay it up and in, protect the ball, use the backboard for protection so his shot doesn't get blocked, reverse layups, and just getting to the free throw line. I love him when it comes to his overall athleticism, his ability to find guys back door, just read the floor very well. But I'm interested to see how his shot's going to be this year, because after his first year, I was like, Darren Fox is starting to figure it out from downtown. It looks like that touch is there, but his three-point shot has just been extremely inconsistent. His touch has been extremely inconsistent. He got off to a horrible start last season, then eventually picked it up. You saw his points go up. You saw his efficiency go up. So can Darren Fox be more efficient? Can Mike Brown put him in the best position to succeed? Can they run the proper offensive system around him? Are they really going to consistently get him to get out and run? Sabonis isn't the most athletic in the world. I think he's sneaky athletic, but he's someone that likes to take his time on the block, find guys. But Darren Fox is the one running the show at point guard, and he's one of your most valuable players. You went on to spend the 5th overall pick on him. You gave him a pretty big contract when it comes to like 2 seasons ago now, or 3 seasons ago now. So you definitely want to build the right proper system around Darren Fox. And when it comes to defensively, can he be more disciplined? How's the effort going to be there? He's someone that likes to really sustain his energy towards the offense side of the basketball. And the problem with this Kings roster, or the problem with the Kings in the past, like, he's the type of player that couldn't really get away with it because they didn't have the proper personnel defensively to really hide his mistakes. Defensively, like, he's good at pickpocketing guys and being sneaky, but just sometimes you see him take plays off in transition and allow guys to get right to the basket. So just mentally, can he be always locked in? And when it comes to his overall fundamentals, can he get better with that as well? But yeah, he's a beast getting to the rack. He has a good handle, very nice hesitations. He's very hard to guard when he's at his best, but I feel like it comes down to up here, knowing when to slow down, knowing when to, let's calm it down. We don't need that 3-point shot in this situation. just go through the motions. Let's find the best quality shot. But I love that he's not afraid of the big moment. But getting into like brand new acquisitions here that are potentially going to be in the starting lineup, like Kevin Huerter, I really like this move by the Sacramento Kings because you need someone that has playoff experience if you want to get back to the playoffs. Is Kevin Huerter going to be an all-star? Probably not, but he's a very quality player. He averaged 12 points per game, very good efficiency from downtown. Is he streaky? Can he be inconsistent, especially on defense? Yes. When he's at his best defensively, I do think he's a solid defender, but he is someone that's he's not afraid to take big time shots, and I think that's gonna be tough for this Kings squad. Like, are they gonna know who's gonna be the true leader to be like, all right, you get the shot in this moment, you're hot, let's give it to him. Because they also added Malik Monk, who's not afraid of the big moment, and he may be in some closing lineups. Fox is pretty ball dominant and not afraid to take the big time shot, but he's also pretty solid at getting others involved. And Herter, if you saw him in Game 7 versus the Philadelphia 76ers, he was big time. He got balls. He got balls. There's some shots that you're like, that's not the best shot in the world. Honestly, he's not someone that's really going to distribute the basketball and make the best plays. But yeah, I think his biggest Achilles heel or heels was inconsistency with his shot. Just sometimes he could have games that he's really off in his shot selection, but he's also I wouldn't even say he's sneaky athletic because if you watch the NBA, he's pretty damn athletic. He can cut, move without the basketball, which Harrison Barnes can also do. So just bringing some more athleticism, bringing someone with an alpha dog type of personality, I really like that for the Kings. And he was a part of an underdog team during that year. No one thought the Hawks were really going to go that far. I remember being a Knicks fan. A lot of Knicks fans were like, yeah, we want the Atlanta Hawks. Or even some non-Knicks fans were like, yeah, the Knicks are going to win that series. But Kevin Huerter was a part of an underdog squad that went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he's going to be a part of an underdog squad once again. So I think he likes this underdog mentality. So he can score the ball, he can shoot it from the outside. He's capable of shooting it from mid-range. He can knock down difficult shots, even turn around jumpers. He's a pretty soft touch. But yeah, how is his shot selection going to be with the Sacramento Kings? And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he could do in this role. And then obviously you go to their lottery pick here that they went on to select with the 4th overall pick. Jaden Ivey obviously did not want to be a member of the Sacramento Kings, so he went on to slip to 5 to the Detroit Pistons. But they selected Keegan Murray. He's going to be playing power forward for the Sacramento Kings. He came out of Iowa, kind of an older prospect, older, and you could say he's not the most exciting to watch. He's not some freakish athlete, even though I think he's a solid athlete, but he makes up for it with basketball IQ. Very good fundamentals, good back to the basket game. He can stretch it to the outside. He can perform off the dribble a little bit. He's a solid handle for his size. He can get to the basket. Very soft touch. He's going to be able to execute from the charity stripe. You don't average over 20 points per game or 20 points per game at the college level by accident. He has skill, and I love his maturity that he doesn't want anything handed to him, and he wants to earn his minutes as a basketball player. And he also brings defensive versatility with long arms. You could say maybe he needs to add a little more meat on his bones, but he adds a defensive versatility. He has that will on the defense side of the basketball. He puts energy towards offense and defense, which I absolutely love, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in a Kings uniform. I think the biggest question mark with him is his distributing of the ball, his vision out there on the floor. He has to know when to give up the ball. Sometimes he can get tunnel vision, locked in on going to the basket. He doesn't recognize when someone's rotating over to strip the ball from him, but I like his potential upside and ability to hit shots like fadeaways, like little baby hooks around the basket. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on to win Rookie of the Year and he's in or he's in that conversation. If they put him in the position to succeed, he goes on to start as well for this basketball club. But they have talent when it comes to the starting 5, but do you think they're going to get out of that bottom of the barrel, like bottom 5 or 6 defense with this personnel of the starting lineup if Darren Fox is more disciplined? Or just let me know down below, do you think they're going to improve defensively, and how much do you think they're going to improve? Kevin Huerter's like okay to solid as a defender. Harrison Barnes is losing a step. Like I said, he was had one of the worst defensive ratings. Even though I don't read too much into ratings, he is losing a step, and he's 30 years old. And I could tell from a personnel standpoint that he's struggling with those quicker players. Keegan Murray, he's going to be fine as a defender. I think he's going to be a good defender at the next level. Sabonis not being the most athletic in the world, but he is quick hands, and he's very well disciplined as an overall basketball player. So I don't think they have a good or I wouldn't say they have a great or fantastic defender in the lineup. I think that's what's kind of holding them back. But someone who's a beast coming off the bench for the Sacramento Kings is Davion Mitchell. I'm absolutely in love with watching Davion Mitchell play. I loved him coming out of Baylor. I remember texting Leon Rose on Instagram, trade up, get this dude. I love Davion Mitchell, even if it's not as a starting point guard, because this dude gives a shit. This dude's in love with the game of basketball. He is just an absolute dog on the defense side of the basketball. There were so many big-time question marks. Why did they draft this dude? They have Tyrese Halliburton, they have Darren Fox, but you could say he's the best player on the board. Everyone had their own opinions, but defensively, he could read the pass lanes. He can get up in your jersey. He could pick you up full court. I believe his nickname is Off Night. What a fucking awesome nickname that is, because he's just that great defensively. He's great at bottling guys up. He's not the tallest in the world, but he's so freaking strong, and you could tell he watches so much film. He just understands every assignment, and he's so well disciplined. He is kind of raw offensively. He didn't shoot a great from the charity stripe. He shot under 70%. I believe he shot like 68%, and he didn't shoot it efficiently from the outside, but much better playmaker than I thought. He ended up averaging 4 assists per game, but he does a good job positioning himself, using leverage on the boards with his strength. But he has good hesitations, he has good quickness, he has a solid handle, and he's pretty athletic as well, or he's damn athletic when you watch Davion Mitchell play, and he covers a lot of ground. He's high elevation on his jumper, but when it comes to defense, just the leadership, and he's just so contagious with his energy, with his defense, that it's going to rub off on this basketball squad moving forward, and I really do believe that. So I love Davion Mitchell when it comes to that second unit. And next up, another contagious player, because they're kind of opposites. Like Davion Mitchell's contagious defensively, and Malik Monk, brand new acquisition coming over from the LA Lakers. He's overcame some adversity in his career with the Charlotte Hornets, You could say there was some immaturity, but that's a part of life. You're gonna learn. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's gonna have to overcome their own types of obstacles and types of adversity. And I'm glad that he's gonna have another opportunity and just thrive in this opportunity. I think he is. He was a beast with the Lakers. I really think that was a huge loss to the Los Angeles Lakers, especially when it comes to their depth, because this dude is not afraid on the offense side of the basketball. There's no shot this guy doesn't like. He just shoots shots out of pure confidence. He reminds me of a light J.R. Smith. I'm not saying he's skinnier J.R. Smith, not as good J.R. Smith. That he's a very good athlete. Leave this guy cutting back door, you're in trouble. Or you give him an open lane, you're in trouble, because his athleticism is going to scream in your face. He's going to pull up from way downtown. He's not afraid to perform off the dribble on his own. When it comes to just defensive effort, how is he going to be there consistently? He's not a crazy good playmaker, but he could score the heck out of the basketball, and he's going to give you offense. He's going to provide you offense. When the bench comes in, Davion Mitchell's defense and then Malik Monk's offense is going to complement and help this Kings team so much, because I feel like there's going to be less Kings blown leads if there's the right coaching in place. You have this defensive-minded coach of Mike Brown. You have more depth here, or the proper depth that meshes together, that I feel like the leads are going to be secure. Of course, there's going to have to be growth or chemistry involved, and you also take a look at Malik Monk and Darren Fox played together in college, so there's that chemistry there as well, that I believe, I think Darren Fox and Malik Monk are just going to love playing together. Again, they had some emotional moments in college basketball, so I just think that's freaking awesome that they're going to be playing together. You have Trey Lyles, who's this lanky guy. He could block shots, and also when you take a look at Trey Lyles, he has the ability to knock down threes from the outside, attempted 2 threes per game, shot it at a 36% clip, which is pretty good for a big man. And he does the little things that I feel like doesn't really show up on the stat sheet. Terrence Davis, he's been through some things in his NBA career. Can he get back to shooting the 3-ball more efficiently? He has quick, sneaky hands that can disrupt passing lanes, and he averaged 0.8 steals per game last year, so he's capable of doing some things on the defense side of the basketball. Rashawn Holmes, who some people thought was going to be the center of the future a couple years ago when they gave him that contract, he just brings high motor, good tenacity, positions himself well, good fundamentals when it comes to the boards, and 23 minutes per game last year, he averaged a block, he averaged 7 rebounds, he was a near double-double machine, and he's going to give you offensive rebounds. He's going to use his athleticism and throw it down on you in the interior, be a little baby Tyson Chandler. And when I just look at this Kings roster here, like I'm a fan of the Kings. Like I don't think maybe they won't make the playoffs. Maybe they're in the play-in. It's just like the NBA is so stacked. It's just amazing. The NBA is at their best right now that there's so much talent across the board. Even teams like the Pistons that may not make the playoffs. Sadiq Bey, Cade Cunningham, like Isaiah Stewart, like Jaden Ivey, like I like the talent on the Detroit Pistons. Like I do. They even acquired Bogdanovich. Now maybe what's his name? Marvin Bagley won't start now, but the talent's just getting better in the league year after year. The Magic, Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, they may not make the playoffs, but the talent is just so amazing in the league that it's so unpredictable at this point. But what are your thoughts on the Sacramento Kings? Maybe they won't make the playoffs, maybe they won't make the play-in, but I feel like they're moving in the right direction. But this is just like my preview entering the season. Hopefully everything works out for Kings fans. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, y'all.